Alright. It was the night of, well, it's June 3rd now, so technically it was the morning of June 3rd, but, first dream I wanted to talk about was, I can't remember exactly where I started, but this is basically for, those who have an ear to hear. I just remember going somewhere, and I started, running, and I knew there was people behind me. And as I kind of started running, I kind of ran behind this one guy and was doing something, and he was kind of older gentleman. I was running circles around him or something. I can't remember exactly what. And everybody else was seeing me. And then as I'm just kind of jogging along, everybody else just starts running also. And they kind of catch up and they go ahead of me, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's good. And I'm like, I'm not in a rush. And so we all get to this bridge area. And as I'm getting to this bridge, I literally see a rainbow in the sky itself. And how I say this, it faded from a rainbow to what I would say is reality. So it was kind of like having a vision inside of a dream, is what I would call it. And as the rainbow faded, I could see these huge towers in the distance, and you always know they had that little blinking red light. So the bottom row of the rainbow was basically all those dots just line up. So if you trace those lines, you could actually see where the rainbow was in the vision, or in the dream vision that I had. And everybody's on this bridge that's over water, and it's we just can't go any higher, and nobody's oh, okay. And it's I'm at the very bottom of the rung. I'm basically in last. And I'm shouting, did anybody see that rainbow? It's nobody saw the rainbow. And they kind of all gave up, and they basically all I just want to say, before I continue on, is one thing that did come to mind is connect the dots. Nobody, I think, was able to connect the dots. It's kind of but once you connect the dots, it's very simple to see what the image is. You just gotta connect the dots. You go 1, 2, 3, and the thing is when you see a bunch of dots and you don't have the number or the order, it can sometimes just seem like a bunch of dots. And you gotta have the Lord connect the dots for you to see what everything is. And so in my dream, I was kind of seeing the outline of the rainbow was the outline of those dots of the blinking tower. Red lights of the dots is kind of the bottom of the rainbow, the red shift of it. And so I continued on, and from there it's well, I bet you I can actually go up all the way. That was what I was thinking. Is yeah, they say they can't, but I bet you I can. And that was just my premise, but it's I gotta go home actually. So it's I just basically started turning around to go home. And as I'm going home, I basically hear this one person, I'm hearing him talk about some Christian stuff. And this one lady that's talking to this other person basically just kind of pokes me with her finger in my neck, which ends up causing me to actually wake up. And the significance of that is I actually woke up just about the time my mom was actually about ready to go to sleep. And talking to her, it seemed like she was actually, I kind of found out she seems to be more supportive now about me wanting to find my own place, whereas before she didn't seem as supportive. Now talking to her before she went to sleep. Yeah, and if I hadn't woken up when I did, she probably would just have gone to sleep. So I thought that was interesting.